Hello everyone and welcome back. Say hello to my new carry gun. Just kidding. It is a carry gun though, at least that's the intention for it. And possibly shoot IDPA matches with it, if the politics ever allow for it. It's a Glock 17, the RTF2 Generation 3 model. And it's had a new slide put on it from Zev Technologies. And then a micro red dot from Trijicon on the rear. So there's no iron sights on this gun whatsoever. And the Trijicon red dot stays on all the time, 24/7. I think the battery life is supposed to last about 6 months. And from what I'm understanding, the red dots are beginning to be all the rage for concealed carry. We'll see. To me, I shot it. Granted, I wasn't completely familiar with the Glock as far as shooting it on a regular basis, and the red dot kind of slowed me down. I tried to do the challenge stage, if you will, that I posted earlier, and my time actually sucked pretty bad with this, even though I got all my hits. It could have been the grip angle for me. You know, with all Glocks, with the exception of the Gen 4, I find myself having to readjust the gun just to find my sights. But going back to the gun, sorry, I sidetracked there. It's a Wilson combat barrel, so it's an aftermarket barrel. And whenever you start putting aftermarket quality parts that aren't factory when it comes to Glock, in my opinion, you start running into some issues. So just be aware of that. If you're going to carry a gun like this, it's been tricked out and with some high quality aftermarket stuff, make sure your ammunition is perfect, because I shot some practice ammo in this gun and had all kinds of issues. But the same ammo that failed to cycle in this gun would cycle just fine in my stock Beretta. So it all has to do with tolerances. The Wilson combat barrel is going to have a whole lot tighter tolerance than the stock stuff. Just be aware of that. Shoot quality ammo if you're going to carry for self-defense. The trigger in it, it's been upgraded. A Bob Vogel trigger kit from GlockTriggers.com. We've got a Zev Technology skeletonized striker, a Zev Tech grip plug on the bottom here, and a Zev Tech tungsten guide rod to add a little bit of weight to the muzzle of it, because you know this gun is supposed to be a competition gun, but the owner is, I'm not the owner by the way, the owner will be carrying it as a concealed carry gun. And then it's got a 13-pound recoil spring. The Trijicon is a RMR-2, and let me tell you about the the slide release. It's from a Glock 34, and then the magazine release is also from a Glock 34. And the Glock 34s are the competition models of the Glocks. There's a little bit longer sight radius, but the controls are a little bit bigger for competition only. So by putting the G34 magazine release and slide release on here, it allows a little bit more dexterity, or the ability, especially people with smaller hands, to reach these things and work these controls. So if you don't have an issue with the extra length here, then you check into that. Think about putting a G34 slide release and a mag release on here. Let's take it apart. Our tungsten guide rod, they're much heavier than a typical guide rod. And then the Wilson combat barrel, it's a very nice looking barrel. Like I said, the tolerances are much tighter on this, so be careful shooting range brass or practice brass in there. You could get some failures. Now on the slide, you know, the RTF2 Generation 3 Glock came out with the what do you call it, the fish scale slides on the back. Really cool looking. But I must admit, I like the serrations up here on the front and the little cuts here in the slide from Zev Technologies. I think that's a really cool addition. When I saw this and held it, I thought, wow, you know, I'm really not a Glock man, but I could be. This is really neat. Also, the RTF2 generation Glocks have a different kind of a grip on the grips. I really like the texture on here. It just grabs my hand a whole lot better, especially when it's 100 degrees outside and you're trying to shoot and your palms get sweaty. This grip is really nice. I really like this. It almost reminds me of putting grip tape on your gun. Let's put it back together. So with this trigger group in here, the aftermarket trigger group. The poundage on this is very smooth trigger, by the way. Very smooth. Little over 3 pounds. That's a pretty nice trigger. I had a fun time shooting this gun. I carried it for about a week or so, and to tell you the truth, it wasn't that heavy even with the tungsten guide rod. I did feel like it was a little bit difficult to conceal, for me anyway, because I usually wear shorts and a t-shirt most of the year. I'll throw some pictures in. Somebody took some pictures and I noticed that my gun was showing. But anyways, Glock 17 with a Trijicon red dot for concealed carry and perhaps one day competition in IDPA. Let's hope the politics play out. Well, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more competition shooting and gun reviews. You gotta try this. Come here.